Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Another week has passed, another night that I'm working, another night that I'm exhausted, another night that I'm going to try and stumble through this. But excuse me, let's go over some things. Some kind of bullish news, some bearish news, but all around Animal Farm. Let's get into it. Alright guys, welcome back to the Crypto Wave. So as you guys know, the vast majority, in fact all of my videos have been on the Animal Farm. Every week I try and do more on different projects. I want to do some on Drip, I want to do some on the Rail project, I want to do some on the Star Atlas project, I want to do some on Stargate, I want to do some on so many other projects that I'm actually in, but my work schedule and the way I go and the only way I can do these videos is on overnight, and it's just tough. But I promise you I'm going to keep trying. My goal also is to create a crypto TikTok, mainly to support Drip and Animal Farm, but also just the crypto space in general and educate those who might not know. But anyway, so bullish and bearish. So price has been dipping down just a bit, both on dogs and pigs. If you go on to the farms, you'll see that they have actually gone down to the deflationary stage. Totally fine. Not stressing it. Actually a good dynamic. This is actually one of the very unique things with this particular farm that actually is beneficial for it. And in reality, excuse me, when the price keeps dropping, it goes to a deflationary point, which actually means the emission rate. So the amount per block, that's why this right here, this token per block is listed here. This token per block goes down, meaning deflationary, and the same thing with the emission rate of the dogs per block, as opposed to the restricted peg or maximal. And really what it's trying to do is, hey, this price is dipping down because there's so much out there circulating that people can buy and sell it easily, dropping the price down. So we're actually going to make the supply more scarce by releasing less of it. And we've seen a bit of a bounce. I don't remember the exact day that it did go deflationary, but we have seen a little bit of a spike up. Now this spike back here on the 14th was actually, I didn't write it down, but back on the 14th, I think Forex did a buyback. So that was some of this here. But then it had kind of this sideways movement, which is typically what you want to see. And then there has been some purchases and some sells as well, but it does have a mild up trend. And again, we're not shooting for, spike into the moon or anything of that nature. But we do want to see this kind of gradual increase. And in reality, where that actually comes in is you'll see over here the total supply of pigs before, and I apologize, my thing didn't save proper. When we would jump from 382 to 383, 386 to 387, this was producing what, 260 on that particular day. Well, now when you come down here, in fact, let's see what the total supply of pigs is right now. It is 389,111. 389,111. In fact, I should add a category that tells us the difference here. So it went up maybe 200, give or take. And this is just over 24 hours because I'm a little bit behind on it. So in essence, the total supply of pigs, we'll see kind of a slow drop off because of that emission rate there. And as you can tell, yesterday, if you look at it, it was at 59.37, and now we're sitting at 61.74. So, for all intents and purposes, without, being that this is just the beginning, 50.81. Being that this is just the beginning of the deflationary, it stands to reason you're going to see this kind of fluctuating up and down, but what I'm looking for is trends. And when I see those trends, when I see the emissions going down, what is this price doing? And then I also want to know, what is this lockup looking like? In actuality, yesterday actually, was the first time I actually in a long time that I've actually seen the percent of pigs locked up. So 88.8% drop down to 88.66. I'd be curious to see. Let's look real quick how much pigs are. 345, 483, 345, 483. Back up again. So somebody took some out, which kind of correlates with this over here. So somebody took out, let's see, the 15th and started selling here. That's probably where some of these sells and such are right here, back on the, going into the 15th. And that's where you saw this dip from the 88.8 down to the 88.66. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I keep yawning. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see. And the way the deflationary works is this is going to go, this deflationary of the dogs and pigs is always 25% fluctuation. So when this went 25% down from its previous high, it goes down to deflationary. And my understanding is that if it goes up in price 25% from its previous low, so its low was about 53. So 25% of that. So if it goes up 25% above its previous low, I believe is where it goes back up to its previous level, which will be restricted. That's my understanding. Again, I'd have to dig into the white paper a little bit. It's been a long time since I looked at that white paper. This thing has been going for quite some time now. So either way, I see it as bullish. I know a lot of people are probably selling a little bit worried and things of that nature. I personally am not. It's working exactly as it's intended to work, to be honest with you. Let's see what the 151.64. It's working exactly as it's intended to. I've actually been pulling out my BUSD. If you listen to Forex, you got to take money off the top. Some of it I reinvest, some of it I don't. As I take profits and things like that, what I've been doing personally is as I go through my pig pen, and I claim my BUSD, and I'm usually doing it. I'll do it right now since I'm on video right now, but I'm typically claiming the BUSD about every 2-3 days, and I compound on the other days. But it's starting to rack up in regards to the BNB that I'm having to do that with. And so what I've actually been doing is I've been letting it sit for like 2, 3, 4 days even, and it gets up there into the kind of the $20, $30 range, both on my BUSD, but then also on my dog pound over here with my, as soon as it pulls up here, my claimable BNB over here, and this will get up to kind of in that 18, 19 range. And then what I do is on day 3, day 4, I'll claim what I need to claim in regards to these, because I'm considering these profit. And then depending on how much profit, what I've been doing is some of it I roll back into the dog pound. So right now I'm trying to do half and half. I was at 150. I'm gonna start selling half and claiming half when I get these dogs and such, in order to pull some profits, and the rest I'm rolling back in to kind of compound my position. And the other part is I'm pairing some of that up to boost some of my positions in the farms and pools. And so I will boost my BNB BUSD mark, or I'll boost my USD BUSD. I just put another 200 into this yesterday, just trying to compound it, try and get more of that earning on this year. So but what I've actually been doing on the farms, and that's simply because when I go to the dog pound, I have so many credits available. As you guys know, with my dog pound, I was basically claiming my dogs every day and then creating new dog pounds, half linear and half auto compound. Well, as they've come to maturity, now this one's not to maturity yet, but I've had quite a few that hit maturity. So I actually have 49 dogs credit here, 4 dogs credit here, 7.5 credit here. And what I'm actually doing is withdrawing when it hits 84% and then just rolling it right back into where it was. And so if it's a linear payout and this hits 84% tax reduction, I withdraw it, get that coupon for 84% tax reduction, boom, I deposit it right back in here again to start working on that linear or auto compound again. And then like on these particular ones, like I don't have any dogs at the moment, but I can claim. And what I've been doing with the claims in fact, I'll do it right now while we're talking. Let's start with the pools here. This is an off day, so it's not going to be a whole lot. My BUSD, I only have 135 in there. It's not going to be worth the 36 cents to claim it there, but 254, yeah, I'm good with that. Let's claim that. That's my cake. In fact, I need to bolster my cake a little bit more too. Cake, I think, will have an epic run on the next bull cycle. And I don't have any of those other ones. Let's go over here to the farms. And again, this is only about 71 cents. I don't have, I mean, I have some in here, but I don't have a whole lot. So I usually hold off on this one a little bit just because the BNB value alone to harvest it just doesn't really make it worth it. So my drip BUSD though, I got about $2 in there. Let's get this. About $8 here. Let's claim that. Come on, computer. And I know you guys are probably in the chat, but just so you know, whenever you see these values pop up on the animal farm, so this is the claim function of MetaMask, and it's showing that this value is $3.99 to process. It doesn't actually do that. What it does is it, in essence, runs high in order to have it process effectively and not get stuck or refunded or have the transaction not processed through accordingly. But then once it does that, it only uses what it needed in order to achieve that, and the rest goes back into your wallet. So it's not actually pulling $3.99 out. In essence, it's running, I'd say about 30 to 50 cents a 30 to 50 cents a transaction. So don't worry about it when you see that on there. However, you do need to have that on there initially because the MetaMask and the blockchain is going to look to see you actually have those funds available in order to process that through. So, okay, so we claimed all those dogs. I got it off the pool. Let's go over to the dog pound. And if we look, I'm actually below. So I'm at 155 on the linear and 151.56 on the auto compound. So actually the ones I just collected, which is about 3.29, let's max that. We're going to put it into the auto compound. And let's stake that in there. And this is kind of what I'm doing. I'll compound it in. There are some days that I do take some profit. I'm not going to lie. I do use these token values every once in a while, but it is going to be a combination of trying to take that profit in addition to compounding your position in there. So, so there is that. When you do withdraw down here, in fact, with your auto compound, it will automatically put your pigs. Or you can claim your pigs, but it also creates your dog's BNB for the auto compound. If you hit withdrawal, just make sure you put that into the farm, otherwise it sits in your wallet. I have claimable BNB about 445. That's fine. I'll claim that. That'll actually just put my BNB probably right back to where it was when I started this process, which is fine. And there's no harm in doing this. This doesn't affect your linear pool or anything of that nature. Wow, I've earned 2 BNB since I started. That's pretty impressive. That's really cool. However, the auto compound will automatically claim the pigs that you had in here when you deposit new into it. So PIGGYBANK on the other side, PIGGYBANK, high risk, high reward. It is on the downtrend. It does require more people coming into it. I'm not creating any more PIGGYBANK vaults. I do still have my long-term play right here, which is going to be due in, 448 days. This is my long doozy here. And then 84 days for this guy. Everything else is zeroed out at this point. But if you look, I mean, it's not really worth it at this point. It's another 2 hours before I can claim. But for 5 cents, it's more. It costs more to claim than to do it. So the PIGGYBANK, I'm officially on a run that I let this go for about 3 days to 4 days until they start getting into the 30-40 cent range. And then I'm no longer compounding on the ones that are open. I'm only compounding on the ones that are still time locked, and I'm trying to pull profit where I can on this. If for some reason I do see new capital or some kind of a new drive into the PIGGYBANK, or the price of pig goes up and the LP becomes significantly more valuable, then I'll start compounding some of these older ones again. But in reality, my play for this is that I can collect on these while these 2-year and 3-year ones continue to compound, and this will be kind of my ace in the hole should it decide to bounce back significantly. So and then let's go over to the pig pen. Pig pin. So I did just claim I got very baby little bit amount of pigs, and that was from the auto compound pool on the dog pound. We will deposit that. Now, when you deposit into the pig pin, you'll actually automatically claim this BUSD, and you'll claim this pigs here. So let's go ahead and let's deposit in the little bit that I got. Let that 50.81 creep up a little bit more. All right, so that, oh, I forgot it's going to be 2 confirmations because you have to, it's claiming your tokens. And what I was going to say actually is, so going back to the spreadsheet here, so one of the big things that I'm looking for also, because obviously price fluctuation we know, on both dogs and pigs, we want to keep compounding into our pig pin as well as our dog pound. The big thing is how much is into this BUSD treasury. There was a pig pin injection on the 10th, which was the Tuesday. No, I'm sorry. The pig pin injection was on Tuesday, but he actually ended up doing the automatic injection was on Tuesday, but he ended up doing another 100K, which is a manual injection from version 1, from V1 funds and such. But every Tuesday there's an auto. But again, what we're looking for, and the reason I did this whole spreadsheet is because I want to know how much am I making. So we were, as of yesterday, 10 cents, approximately 10 cents per pig per day, which in essence gets you, which is about right. As you can see, I just claimed this. I don't know if you remember, it was just under 4 BUSD. And I have it at about 5.43 for 24 hours. But the last time I claimed this yesterday, it's still about another 2.5 hours until that time hits. So it's pretty dang close. But part of that also is it's going to creep down just a bit because this value goes down. And this is where you really want the next phases of things coming out, which is what's going to help supply, feed this ecosystem, including these tokens, utilities, and that type of thing. And that comes into the Telegram. So there's actually, if you go all the way back this morning, oops, let's go all the way back this morning. There was a post that this is starting to get some pretty good traction. Here you go. So there was this one here. So AFD, the animal for dogs, trending, top 10 trending cryptocurrencies in the US. Over here, AFD, coin market cap, top trending. Forex and S was like, hey, I told you we're busting out some marketing here, and that marketing is going to take time, but as it picks up speed, we'll see it. Now, the other thing that's going to bring more people in are obviously giveaways, which he's doing, but then also utility and interactive contracts. So there is some games coming out. Anytime you're not bullish on this, just come in here and wait for Forex. There is going to be an AMA tomorrow, which is the 16th of February. So it's always fun to tune into those. Sometimes he gives really good information, sometimes he doesn't. But in reality, if you come in here, he nails it on the head a couple of things. At one point, he's like, hey, listen, we're doing all the work, but you guys got to put in your brick or whatever the case is, or as Bartertown says. And it's true, and that's kind of why I do these videos. I know I don't have a huge following. I probably only have about, 500 people that watch my channel. Maybe it'll grow. That would be amazing. But you got to put your brick in, and if the people who watch my channel don't know about this and they do get into it, and then they spread the word, because I try to bring things that aren't shady, if that makes sense. I'm trying to bring things that I personally am in, and I'm personally going to be trying to be in long term. And so everybody put in their brick, and he's nailed on the head. I can't remember where he said it, but in essence, he was like, hey, community's got to keep it going. We're gonna create the contracts. We're gonna create the this is kind of cool too. Bartertown, they're creating something called the drip drop draw. It's going to be a new game type thing that's linked over to the drip as well, and we'll feed the animal farm and drip ecosystem. So anyway, I can't find it now, but anytime you're not bullish on the project, just listen to him, because they are developing the background. They have the dogs roulette, which is going to get renamed. It's almost like a Plinko game from what I'm sounding. You got drip drop draw coming. The animal farm is working like a pro. It is paying out significant amount of capital. The price is going to fluctuate. You've got to think long term. He always drops these hints during the AMAs about how he wants to do anything he does. He wants to benefit DeFi as a whole. With that being said, he was talking about Stargate, single asset. Stargate, if you don't know, is kind of a bridge that can go between different networks and things of that nature. but in essence, he wants to be able to do single asset through Stargate. And he actually one-upped it last Tuesday when he was talking about it, because he wants to do single asset that you can actually stake your Ethereum, USDC, or whatever it is that you want to stake. But he's going to create it so that the platform automatically finds the best yield, and it's actually going to move your funds from one thing to another. So if Stargate has the best percentage paying out, it's going to put your funds there. And then if for some odd reason any swap or multi-swap or whatever becomes more lucrative in regards to return, it will move your funds over there to utilize that. And then on top of that, it will try to auto compound for you as well. That single stake auto compound is going to be pretty dang big. And honestly, it's big enough that I'm hoping he talks about it more tomorrow, because that truly makes me consider if it's going to auto compound as much as he's saying and be utilized in that manner. Taking some of this, for sure the pool I'm going to take out, but for taking some of this and maybe splitting some of it out so I have less LP, it will be a little bit of more exposure. When you do an LP, it's a little bit less exposure because you're dealing with 2 tokens. But if you do just stablecoin like a USDC, single asset, and then go into an auto compound pool that is maximizing where your returns are coming from, that is pretty friggin' huge. Like, I'm really looking forward to the details on this auto compounding thing that he's talking about on single asset. I mean, that is like the most epic savings account you can think of. And if it catches on, if it works as much as he's saying or doing as well as he's saying, that is going to be a significant game changer for a lot of people's bankroll, so to speak. So sorry, I feel like I'm probably rambling. I'm talking a little bit more than usual. Let's get back over here. Oh, so what I was going to say actually is the other thing I really look at is exactly this, which is how many addresses are there. So 13,849. 13,849. Because every day I come in here, there's more addresses. Whether that is some of the players already have an address and using pigs and they're dividing it up or not, it's a continual increase of addresses being utilized by pigs, which is what you want to see. So it means the ecosystem is expanding. Even if it shows 50 new addresses, and let's say half of those are people who are already in pigs and they're just creating another address, but the other half are new, the ecosystem's growing and expanding. And the further it grows, the more people utilize it, the better and the stronger the ecosystem's going to be. 1194,301. 1194,301. The pig payout is getting pretty pitiful, but that's okay. 260.09. 260.09. I wasn't really in it for that anyway, so. All right. Total supply of dogs. Let's get over here. 1751,244. 1751,244. And that has not been working, unfortunately, so I don't have that value anymore. But let's see if there's more wallets. 13,146. So that is going up as well. So all in all, still healthy. Hopefully AMA. There's going to be an AMA here with Forex. We'll see what the price does after that. Actually, let me update this because I did dip. 50.82. That's okay. I'll take it. All right. I think I've probably rambled on long enough. I hope I've explained myself well. I hope it makes sense to you. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop it in the comments. I'll answer as best I can. I appreciate you tuning in. Please spread this video to anybody who think might be interested. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But as usual, I appreciate you guys tuning in and have a wonderful night.